This video tutorial is going to talk a little bit more about the reporting features available in ShopSite. Here you see I have my dashboard. The dashboard has different modules on it that allow you to quickly see your store information. I have just a few enabled here. There are more available. So here you can see my top sales for the sales for today, the sales over the last 7 days, and the sales total for this month. Right now it's in between months, so I have a little bit of last month in the last 7 days and a little bit of this month in the last 7 days. For my popular products, it lists the units sold of that product and the total revenue of that product. This is over the last 7 days. So there's been a lot of digital download conversion calculators, and the second highest product is this 18-volt cordless drill. And there have been 12 of those, but it's more expensive, so the revenue's higher. In the recent orders, the ones that are bold with an asterisk next to them are new orders, and the ones that are just regular are old orders that I've already viewed. In the feeds and backups, it talks about the last time you backed up your store information, such as your databases and your reports, as well as the last time you uploaded your products to Google Product Search. In the store statistics, it's going to just give you a brief overview of what's in your store. So I have about 350 products in my store, 20 pages, 130 orders, almost 130 customers, 1 associate, 3 active coupons, and 2 gift certificates that have yet to be redeemed. This also lists my top customers over the last 7 days. And with any of these areas where it says like the recent sales or the popular products, you can change it so that it's over the last 30 days or over the last year or whatever you want to set it up for, but I have it set up for my last 7 days. So it lists my top customers, the number of orders they place, and the total amount from those orders over the last 7 days. Now ShopSite has more advanced reports, and you can get to those by clicking on Reports at the top. Here I have my report screen. So with the report section, you can choose the date range to be today, the current week, current month, current year, overall time. You can also do in the past, so yesterday, last week, last month, last year, or custom dates. I'm going to change it to custom dates because this last 7 days spans last month and this month, and so I want to see over the last 7 days. So let's go from June 29th, last Wednesday, until today, Tuesday, and generate report. So here you have my basic sales overview. The blue area are the total in products. This green area is the total in shipping costs, which is about $475. $0 in surcharges because I don't have surcharges on in my store. And I only collect tax in Utah, so there's just a small portion, $15 in sales tax. You can display your reports this way as a pie chart or as a bar graph by switching it to per day. And now you have the bar graph where you can see what the orders were on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to switch it back to the summary and view my other reports. So let's look at my products. Here you can choose what you want the reports to say, whether the product sales, whether like the total amount, the product units sold, so it's going to do the total quantity, and the rewards value if you have any rewards for those products. So I have it selected to display my top 5 products in the store. So it's my 18-volt drill, the 3/4 impact wrench, a circular saw, compact hole shooters, and another drill. So if I want to see the total revenue, that's what I have right now, and I can highlight over each section to see what product it's for. So right here it looks like my top selling product, like we saw on the other page, was my 18-volt half-inch cordless drill. But if I want to see the total revenue with the quantity sold, I can have an overlay map by checking this checkbox. And now the colors correspond to the same product. So in this red area, I have the 18-volt drill, which generated $13,000 in sales, and 12 of them were sold in the last 7 days. Over here, you'll see that this one only generated $700 in sales, but had 7 of them sold. And this one generated all the way up to $500 in sales, but only 1 was sold. So you can overlay reports this way. I'm going to go ahead and just turn that off and switch over to merchandising. So merchandising is going to show you the rewards that you had in your store. So first, Regular rewards are like buy one, get one free. And the rewards in this store are buy 2 hammers, get 1 hammer free. So there's been $52 worth of free hammers given out. That's probably about 3 hammers, so 3 rewards. The redeemed coupons, the regular coupons, you can have those for free shipping, for percentages off, for dollars off. Coupons are really versatile. For the discounts, that's in a specific price range. So in this store, I have it set up for orders over $400, you get 5% off. So there was an order over $400 that got 5% off, and so it got the $21 off. And then gift certificates, how many have been redeemed? So there's been $50 worth of gift certificates that have been redeemed. Let's actually divide this coupon area up a little more. So you can click on coupon, and you'll see that I have 2 coupons in my store, the 10% off orders over $100 and $5 off orders over $10 if you're a registered customer. And so for this big blue one, the 10% off orders over $100, there have been $130 worth of redemption on this coupon. Whereas the $5 off of orders, there's only been $20 redeemed, so that's probably 4 orders that have used this coupon. If I want to look at my gift certificates, you can see I've sold $230 worth of gift certificates in the last 7 days, but only $50 of those have been redeemed. So that's actually really good. That's one of the reasons you want to create gift certificates, is because a lot more people are going to buy them, and then there's a few that might not redeem them. I don't have inventory tracking turned on in this store or the associate feature, so I'm just going to skip both those. Let's go down to customers. Here you can see my top 5 customers, because again I have it set up for my top 5. So you can hover over each one to see what the customer's name is and their email address. And what you may want to do with this report is send discounts or coupons or even a gift certificate to these customers because they're one of your top customers for the week. If you want to see how many orders they've placed, you can have the map overlay. It looks like 4 of them have just placed 1 order, which was a large order, but 1 person has placed 2 orders in your store. You can see if any of them have redeemed coupons. It looks like only 1 customer redeemed coupons. You can have different maps overlay so you can see what customers are buying, how many orders they're placing, things like that. You can also change, if I want to view my top 9 customers or my top 10 customers, I can divide it out and see who my top customers are. Under shipping, this is going to show you the shipping methods that are most preferred in your store. So it looks like almost half my customers are using just my regular ground shipping, the U.S. Postal Service parcel post. And then also in this green area, it looks like there's a few orders that qualified for no shipping or free shipping. You can also see what your other top shipping are. For payment types, here you can see that I have my top 4 payment types. I can change that to my top 5 or whatever you want, but I have 4 major payments in my store. It looks like the majority of orders are paying with Visa, but the next highest is the collect on delivery, so I have that set up in my store, then American Express, then PayPal. So this way, this is nice to see it broken down, to see if you have a lot of credit card orders or if you have a lot of PayPal orders. That way you can talk with your credit card providers or credit card processors, things like that, to get better rates on specific sections. So if Visa, I have the most orders coming through Visa, I'm going to want to find an account that gets the lowest per transaction rate for Visa. If I'm using PayPal and I have most of my orders going through PayPal, I may want to upgrade my PayPal account to make sure that I'm getting the lower rates. State and country is the last one. This one's going to show you where the majority of your customers are shopping from. And you can break this out into different areas by price again, by the quantity of orders that have been placed in each area, by tax collected, which is again only in Utah, different things like that, by shipping costs. So you can break out the graphs differently, but this map will help you so that if you want to provide discounts or free shipping to your top states, you can see what your top states are, what your top areas are, or you can search for specific locations to see how many sales you're actually getting in certain states. So this gives you a little bit more of an overview on how the reporting functionality is set up in ShopSite. It's really versatile. I only went over a few reporting options here. just some of the basics, but I hope it helped you give an overview of how the reports are set up.